welcome along to this live stream of Sutton United versus Farnham Town. It's a big cup semi-final. Farnham Town taking on Football League opposition. Obviously a much changed Sutton team, more of an academy team that they're fielding tonight. But Harry, it's a big night for Farnham, already one trophy in the bag and looking to make it a league and cup double.
Yeah, we obviously get to lift the trophy, the league trophy on Saturday, which will be a big occasion for the club. But this is, just as important now as the unbeaten streak that we're trying to chase for that unbeaten season in the league. This has become a huge priority for us, the Surrey Cup. I think it's a cup that Farnham have never won before, and that will be really, really important for this group of players to come away with what has probably deserved to be a double season. We've been so dominant, but we've got a very mighty task ahead of us tonight with Sutton, be it their academy team or not. This isn't going to be easy, and then whoever would wait for us in the final if we do get through tonight's test. So still a long way to go. We saw at the end of last season how difficult cup football can be and how many twists and turns you get along the way, and we managed to get through it last season and come home with the trophy. But it's never easy, and we're going to have to be on our best form tonight, and we simply weren't on Tuesday.
Yeah, the players are just getting ready to come out now, and I think the message has to be from Jimmy Hibbert, who's taking charge tonight, to play the game rather than the occasion. I think we saw in Jersey maybe Farnham's level dropped off because of the big occasion. Tonight that can't happen again. Yeah,
can't happen. Just need to be what they've been over the last couple of months, really. Got back to their best after, I want to call it a slump, but we still won pretty much every game, but it was a slump in form, or at least performance, and we need to get back to the level we were at. The game really before Tuesday, where it felt like we were starting to get leggy, and there's no hiding from the schedule that we've had over the last couple of weeks and going into the next week as well. We'd have played Tuesday, Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and we've got a 17-man squad with injuries. So, this isn't an easy task. The boys not only are facing a young Sutton side, but a Sutton side that haven't played a huge amount of football. And this Farnham side have played lots of football and will have a lot of fatigue in their legs. And I think the first 45 minutes are going to be absolutely critical for Farnham to assert their dominance and get a couple of goals, because I do fear that the last 10 minutes we'll start to see a fading Farnham Town team.
Yeah, we saw a little bit of that on Tuesday as Cobham very much got back into the game, earned a point. First team to do that in the league at the Memorial Ground this season. Could have had all three, really. So it is very true that Farnham's fixture congestion has started to catch up with them, but they've been resting players, rotating players, and they do have both Ryan Kinane and Harry Cooksley in from the start tonight, two key players. Still no standards, of course, but you imagine Kinane and Cooksley will play the majority of this game if they can.
Yeah, this is the important game. I think, again, it all depends on what the scoreline is after about 60, 70 minutes. If Farnham Town are winning 3-0 or vice versa, to be honest, I think that your Cooksies and your Kinanes will get rested. But I expect this to be a tough game throughout, and I think it will feel like a proper cup game this evening, and there'll be plenty of academy boys out there looking to prove a point as well for Sutton. This isn't a dead game for them. And it'll be a big trophy for these academy boys for Sutton to come and win as well. So both teams with huge amounts to prove. It's quite a cold April evening, bit of wind out there, but it's great to be at a Football League ground, and I'm excited to see what happens.
So here come the teams in this Surrey County Cup semi-final between Sutton United and Farnham Town. Lining up for the visitors tonight is Pat Nash in goal. In defence is Joe Jackson, Jack Dean, Ryan Kinane and Brandon Kalu. Mike Waters is cup-tied, so Lamar Karema comes in alongside Harry Cooksley in midfield. And then it's Lewis Flatman and Dean Rule in behind Owen Dean and Adam Liddell. On the bench it's Michael Kinsella, Charlie Postance, Shamal Edwards, Kai Tanner and Max Meaton. I will give you the Sutton team as well. It's Sam Roberts in goal, Junior Eccleston, Adam Reeves, Lanseni Traore, Oscar Williams, Toby Ogundenga, Kyan Edwards, Oliver Kinder, Vinnie Toom, Liam Moore and Jake Tones. On the bench it's James Fenlow, Charlie Bell, Joden Trickett, Bobby Lambourne and Lenny Jones. A couple of those players have been a part of the first team squad for Sutton, but it's mostly academy prospects lining up, and there'll be an interesting dynamic with a lot of technically good players out there, Harry, but Farnham's experience and seniority will be a big factor as well.
Absolutely, and also just that ability to win games. This academy team will have played games, of course they will have, but it's a different level of competitiveness than what Farnham have been through this season. And Farnham have ground out results, they made things happen, and they have won a cup at the end of last season as well with lots of these players. So there'll be a hunger to succeed tonight for this Farnham team. Still players that are trying to prove their worth for next season as well, which I think is important for people to note at home. There's players out there, on the whole, who are playing for their shirt for the next season. As we go up the leagues for the first time in our 118 year history, we get to step 4. So there's still lots to prove. It's a flat surface. I don't think it's a great surface by any stretch of imagination. When you think of Football League clubs, you think of pristine grass, luscious green, but it isn't that. But it is flat, and that will play to Farnham's advantage as well.
Just interesting seeing how they're lining up. We've seen both Joe Jackson and Jack Dean play at full-back and centre-back this season, but tonight they've gone for Joe Jackson on the right, Jack Dean in the middle with Ryan Kinane.
Yeah, I'm interested in that one. What we have to say is that Paul Johnson, the manager, isn't here tonight. He's ill. He's watching along, so get well soon. Want to get him right as rain to get down to the Memorial Ground on Saturday to lift that trophy, which he thoroughly deserves to do. But he's not here tonight, and therefore Jimmy Hibbert and Paul Barry take the technical area on the far side.
And Sutton get us underway. Farnham in the pink shirts and black shorts and black socks. Sutton all in yellow, their familiar look.
Yeah, I think that's a nice thing about this game, is like you've got Sutton playing their home shirt at their home ground. This feels like a proper game for Farnham Town.
Yeah, Farnham have already navigated opposition that are in a higher tier than them. They beat Kingstonian.
This is an altogether different test.
Lamar Karoma going in there. Harry Cooksley looking to work it across to Dean Rule. And Brandon Kalu finds the chest of Adam Little. Flag stays down. They want the free kick there.
What I would say about this surface is it's very hard. It will bounce a lot, maybe unexpectedly. There you go. It just bounces up a tiny bit higher than you'd expect to on a soft grass pitch.
Lewis Flatman getting the nod from the start again. Maybe it wasn't his best display on Tuesday, but the faith in him remains.
Yeah, I mean, obviously got an interesting dynamic on the bench for Farnham Town with Kai Tanner, who played in this Sutton Academy side until about 14 months ago. Was one of the star players in that team before a horrible injury, so he will be very, very keen to get on the pitch and make an impact as well when I'm sure he gets his chance.
Yeah, and he's had plenty of chances this season in various positions. Dean Rule, who's also been one of the most frequent selections in this Farnham lineup, certainly the last few months. His form's really picked up.
I see some Farnham Town noise to our left-hand side behind the Sutton goal.
Brandon Kalu looking to bring this one down. It's a great touch from him. Wins the throw.
Very good, very, very good start.
Dean Rule. Farnham looking to assert themselves early on.
Yeah, the instruction from Ryan Kinane was settle down before taking that throw in. Brandon Kalu ignored it. And Farnham back to where they started.
Jack Dean looking for Joe Jackson there. Second ball is going to be picked up by Karoma. That familiar midfield too that for the first half of the campaign was very successful for Farnham.
Kalu was also a doubt this evening. He wasn't an absolute surefire starter. That's potentially where we saw Kai coming in, left back where we've seen him over the last couple of weeks.
Dean Rule. Brandon Kalu to his left. Cooksley. So often the architect from these positions.
Farnham have been patient so far though.
Jackson managed to get it to Owen Dean despite losing his footing. Now Jack Dean. Yeah, Kalu has had his injury issues in the last few months, but lines up today. He's had a couple of good games.
Yeah, he has.
As of late. Preferred to Tom Smith, really, at the moment.
It's a poor kick from Ryan. It's not a terrible crowd this evening. It's not bumper by any stretch of the imagination, but you're never going to expect that from a Thursday night cup game, especially with Sutton in the position they're in, with their Saturday fixture meaning so much. Farnham Town, in some ways as well, also have a very meaningful Saturday fixture, although for different reasons.
Yeah, I'm sure those of you that have chosen to stay at home and watch this on YouTube are enjoying a bit of Thursday night football. Seen plenty of it in recent weeks with all the rescheduled fixtures.
Yeah, and some nice, one nice thing as well about...
Cooksey went down completely. I don't know if anyone was around him there, but does get back to his feet. Sorry, Harry, you were saying?
Saying it's nice for Farnham Town to be in a really competitive fixture that means something. Now, I know we had it on third. That's a great ball, by the way.
Yeah, Liddell will chase. And Oscar Williams made sure nothing came of that.
Yeah, you know, Farnham had the fixture on Thursday against Croydon, which obviously mattered the quarter-final of this very cup. But other than that, Farnham Town fans haven't had anything to get really excited for since Jersey. 250 people tune in to the start of this cup final online on YouTube. Thank you very much for watching. Do drop a subscribe if you are new here. Lots of people predicting Farnham wins, as you expect, on a Farnham stream. And the person who says they should have kept their 4G pitch doesn't understand the Football League regulations around artificial pitches.
Dean Rule and Flatman both going for this. I think Flatman knew he was offside, so left it for Rule. Nice touch to Flatman, who puts it into a good area.
He did.
But Farnham are certainly on top in the early proceedings here. And with that sheltered stand behind the goal, you can really hear the Farnham army.
Yeah, it's a good start from Farnham. Sutton have hardly touched the ball. Farnham asserting their dominance. And I have to say, the kits look marvellous.
Cooksley been operating very deep in the first 10 minutes. Jack Dean and now Karoma, who's dropped in. Looks to play a crossfield pass and it was intercepted, and Lanseni Traore can come forward. But Farnham have it back. Owen Dean went in with...
It's good, if Flatty can get in.
Here is Flatman. Kalu on the left has Akers. Dean Rule looking to move it onto him.
Does well, Brandon.
The young Sutton players trying to close Farnham down.
Looks like they're playing a back five. Well, sometimes it looks... Nah, more of a 4-3-3, isn't it? Oh, wow, that was...
Miscue there by Edwards, and it's going to be a throw for Sutton. Dean Rule's looking to punish, but Sutton survive.
Still nice to see it, even at the Football League, you get asked to kick your ball back. Also be a big testing ground for the referee. You know, I think it's the same at this level as it is, you know, all the way up the pyramid. You know, referees playing for their spot in the Surrey Cup final.
Long ball played forward. Joe Jackson will deal with it. Will come again though for Edwards. And looked like he might have got a touch on it. Kalu was appealing for it, but Sutton get the decision. We haven't seen too much of them in Farnham's half, so maybe they can conjure something up now. Very different test than what they're used to, these academy players. Foul there by Traore.
Yeah, there seems to be a lot of space on the pitch for Farnham to operate, especially in these areas. Obviously, lots of teams have had some success when they've pressed high against Farnham's defenders.
Joe Jackson with the header, couldn't direct it towards Liddell. But Farnham have dealt with this occasion pretty well so far, certainly better than they did in Jersey. And they will be patient when it comes to carving out the first opening. Cromer went up for the header, as did Jack Dean. Flatman hooks it on, Liddell backing into his man, but Williams does enough. Owen Dean pressurising now. Flatman, Harry Cooksley, round the corner for Karoma, and Farnham can reset.
Yeah, it was nice from Farnham Town.
Canane to Cooksley. Nice touch round the corner there for Owen Dean. Jackson. It's well worked, this from Farnham. It's Lewis Flatman. We know he likes this sort of range. Took a deflection, claims for handball. It's going to be a corner.
I mean, it clearly looked like it hit his arm.
Appeals didn't last long.
No, they didn't. Maybe I'm seeing things, but it felt like he had his arm up in the air there, the Sutton player in the box. I'm about to re-watch it, although we're about 30 seconds behind. So Farnham will take this corner before I get to see that action again. But it was lovely work from Lewis Flatman to work the space.
And it comes towards Jack Dean, who scores! And Farnham take the lead just after 10 minutes through Jack Dean. Brilliant delivery from Cooksley, and Farnham's dominance has paid off.
It was a brilliant header. It was just telegraphed back across him, back across the goalkeeper. And it, again, this surface is just so hard and flat. Bounces in. It was a great corner. It came from a great piece of play only moments before from Lewis Flatman, and Farnham Town find themselves 1-0 to the good from Jack Dean, who's playing centre-back this evening.
Yeah, and he's threatened from set pieces this season. Finally, seems like he's been waiting a long time for one to go in. He's come so close as of late, but Farnham have that early lead. Big challenge now for Sutton's youngsters to get back into this one.
Different challenge. Farnham needs to make sure they go back to the way they were playing before that goal. They were dominating, playing it simple. Got to make sure they don't switch off.
Jack Dean lets that one bounce. Has it
didn't
all
love
under
that.
control. Farnham are knocking the ball around quite nicely.
Yeah, for all my... Oh, hello.
Yeah, Adam Liddell's going to get there.
For all my naysaying on this pitch, I have to say, because it's come off the back of ripping up a 4G, it's very flat.
Here's Flatman. Across the face. Goalkeeper did well to hold on to it. But he looks in the zone tonight, Flatman.
Yeah, it looks good. Looks good. Big game player, Lewis Flatman.
Lots of Farnham's good play coming through him. Definitely looks like it's a 3 in behind Liddell rather than typical 2-2. Liddell doing some good work early on as well. Eccleston. And now Williams. Sam Roberts just looking to give Sutton a breather, really.
Yeah, it was little he could do about the goal, really. It was borderline free header for Jack Dean.
Liddell gets up and wins that, and Dean rolls onto it. Owen Dean. Rule again. Gets there ahead of Reeves. Flatman's efforts. just tipped wide by Roberts, but Farnham are purring here and threatening a second.
Yeah, and Lewis Flatman is at the centre of every single piece of good Farnham action. And he's willing to test a goalkeeper, which is something we've complained about from the gantry over the last couple of weeks, where, yes, Farnham have scored goals, but it feels like they only score when they test the goalkeeper. And, you know, this is a bright start from Farnham Town, getting shots away. It's what Jimmy Hibbert on the sideline will want to see and what Paul Johnson will want to see from his sofa at home.
So Harry Cooksley, 1 assist to his name already from a corner. It's a deep delivery. It might come for Kinane, it might come for Flatman. He struck it well! What a goal by Lewis Flatman! And Farnham have won for it in the final after 14 minutes.
What a hit. We were just talking about him. We said everything good was coming through Lewis Flatman. And how about one of those? It's Flatman magic.
Unbelievable strike. He's been threatening in these opening exchanges. They're just sat up perfectly for Farnham's number 13, who celebrates with the fans behind the goal. And what a night they're having already. Farnham in dreamland.
Yeah, that was pretty special. And I'll be honest, it's been coming. It's been coming, and again, unmarked, edge of the box. Farnham started hot.
Yeah. Golf in quality at the moment. A lot can change, of course, but Farnham, with a 2-goal lead, very rarely give up that sort of advantage. And Liddell is going to chase this one down. There might be an again here. Options in the box. Dean Rule's there.
Dean Rule's not the player I'd have wanted to be going for an attacking header.
But Farnham's intensity just not being dealt with at all by Sutton at the moment. It's crazy. The turnaround in fortunes for Flatman, who struggled on Tuesday, but tonight he's running the show. Jack Dean back to Pat Nash, but this is
Pat Nash's first touch of the ball.
This is what you get with Lewis Flatman. He might not be the most consistent player in the squad, but on this sort of occasion, there's always going to be him at the centre of the excellence.
He steps up. He steps up when needed. He did last season.
Adam Liddell seen plenty of the ball early on, and he was brought down there by Reeves, and Farnham have another promising situation, and they can really put this to bed if they get the delivery right. Those fans behind that goal having the time of their lives.
Yeah, not a bad place to stand, to pick. And Farnham have been dangerous from set pieces. I think both goals have come from a corner. Yeah. And this is
arguably even more dangerous.
300 of you watching along. Farnham winning 2-0 away at Football League Sutton United in the Surrey County Cup semi-final.
Cooksley waits. Referee just giving Adam Liddell a talking to. Farnham fans behind the goal expect. In from Cooksley, not his finest delivery that time, but it comes back in from him, and Kinane is still up there, gets his head to it.
Goal, he did not fancy coming for it, did he? Not one bit. Sorry to anyone on the stream who saw that it was still 0-0 on the scoreboard to the top left of your screen. We got carried away in the gantry and forgot to update it, but we're back. We're back with you. 2-0 is the score here at Sutton.
Flatman with the header, and finally some action for Sutton in the final third here. Here's Liam Moore. Out to Edwards. Kalu and Rule keeping him company, but Edwards got away from them both, and Kalu brought him down, and now it's Sutton's turn to have a free kick in a dangerous position.
Yeah, poor decision. Really, it all stemmed back from a Dean Rule header in the middle of the park that just didn't need to be so cute. It could have just been a clearance. Could have got Farnham out of trouble, but instead they have to face a set piece of their own.
It's the left back, Adam Reeves, standing over it. Pat Nash hasn't been called into action at all as of yet. They'll want to test him and find the route back into this semi-final, because at the moment it's looking ominous.
But they will cause a threat, and they will cause a threat for the full 90 minutes, this Sutton side, this young Sutton side.
It's towards the back post, and Canane won his duel. Free kick was given anyway, and Liam Moore volleys it into the goal, but play was long since stopped.
Yeah, he did his best Lewis Flatman impression and said this one didn't count.
But this is just not the start that Sutton would have wanted.
But exactly the start that Jimmy Hibbert would have wanted in caretaker manager duties on the touchline.
Owen Dean just looking to find Flatman there. He's going to chase it down. That was a nice touch from Tones. And just starting to grow into the game a little bit now, Sutton.
Can play with a bit more freedom, can't they?
Eccleston. Edwards. Again, Kalu tight to him. And again, Edwards gets away.
Does well.
That was a
rushed,
poor ball, though, from Toome. Gifts it back to Farnham when it was looking promising for the hosts. Canane will look long. He'll look for Liddell, who's looking to beat the offside trap.
They've had so much success with the long ball so far, Farnham.
And it's going to come for Dean Rule. Nicely cushioned pass for Cooksley, and he'll let fly.
Tell you what, he hit that really well.
It's equally good with his right and left foot, Cooksley. Kalu.
Yeah, good decision from Harry Cooksley. Farnham reset.
Jack Dean, who opened the scoring. Cooksley. Karoma. Farnham, happy to keep it.
Yeah, this is where Farnham can just take that little bit of the sting out of the game that Sutton were playing with.
Jackson. Now Liddell, who's dropped in.
Don't need to do anything silly now, Farnham Town. They have the cushion that they would have been looking for, sitting in the dressing room.
Flatman's made a good run. Cooksley looking to find him. Flatman's control and turn and finish. He scored again, Lewis Flatman, and this is absolutely spectacular from Farnham.
How about that? How about the pass? How about the touch? How about the finish? Farnham are running riot with ease.
It's another assist for Cooksley, another goal for Flatman. And we were talking about resting legs if this goes 3-0 either way. Well, who would have thought it would happen inside the first half of the first half?
What a fantastic goal.
Farnham's finishing has been absolutely ruthless. I mean, Flatman had a lot to do. The ball was perfect, but he still had to bring it down on his chest and swivel quickly and turn it home. But when Flatman's in this mood, he's more than capable of that. Incredible start. And you hesitate to say game over because of what this sport can do, but Farnham just looked like they could score at will at the moment.
That's what it felt like with that Cooksey pass.
Flatman's going to chase this one down again. He's on a hat-trick. And
Flatman's
in! Lewis Flatman!
Oh, he just took too long.
He turns!
He still got the ball.
Still got it! And Owen Dean couldn't find the target.
But it was, again, Flatman's tenaciousness who got him in. The defender just didn't know where the ball was. Again, it's the long ball that was working well for Farnham Town.
It is quite literally men against boys at the moment. And Farnham can sense something really special as Dean Rule this time looks to gather.
Another long ball causing problems.
And they're just quickest to everything at the moment, which, given their hectic schedule, is quite impressive. Here's Dean Rule. Kalu to his left. Momentum taken out of the attack. Cooksley, Owen Dean, Sutton trying to pressurise Farnham on the halfway line.
Sensible from Owen Dean.
Caught late.
Yeah, it's silly tackle.
I mean, it's hard to believe that the Flatman we saw on Tuesday and the Flatman we're seeing tonight is the same bloke, but I assure you it is.
Lewis Flatman is the epitome of an on-his-day player. When he's on his day, there's very few players at the level that can compete. He's so effective, and he's so naturally talented. He can do things that very few players have got the ability to do. Unfortunately, with that comes games where they go wanting.
Came with a bit of a loose touch, but it will come for Flatman now. And Liddell.
Flatty's in if you can find him.
Jackson making a run. Dean Rule instead opts for Cooksley.
Nice.
That's nice from Jackson, who slid in there by Dean. Oh, and Dean was looking to clip it in towards Flatman. But now Tones. But Owen Dean gets in there.
Somehow Farnham they feel fresher.
Karoma challenging. Very rare that a Sutton player gets a moment to gather his thoughts and pick out a pass, but they have a potentially interesting moment here. Into the box it comes, and they will get a corner, Sutton. Good work on the right-hand side by Edwards, who has been the one
Yeah, he has.
that has caused the most issues.
That was a really good ball across. Joe Jackson does the sensible thing, puts it behind. Very good. I imagine now thinking about why Jackson's the right back and Jack Dean's centre-backs, because Jackson had the night off, didn't he, Tuesday, so in terms of fitness, to go up and down the pitch, probably the reason why we're seeing Joe Jackson at the right back rather than Jack Dean in his natural position.
The corner was into an area where Pat Nash had to be very alert, straight at him. They can be tricky, but Nash alert as ever. And Farnham fans poking fun at Sutton's relegation trouble. Bit harsh maybe on this sort of occasion. Cooksley clipping it over the top. Liddell, whose hold-up play has been excellent.
He's been really good, Adam Liddell. He's just used his experience. Sounds such a cliche, but he just used his body so well.
Jackson. Cooksley.
Nice.
Commanding some space. Now Jack Dean. Farnham again taking their time. Just under 20 minutes until the break, but they've achieved a lot. So far, Farnham. Did just bobble up as Karoma played it forward. No need to play that ball though.
No, but Farnham looked comfortable. Very, very comfortable.
Jack Dean goes high. Liddell, as he has done all night, will battle for it.
Again, it's causing problems to that Sutton defence.
Flatman. Kalu. Cooksley. Skips past Traore, wins the free kick. And another set-piece opportunity maybe for Farnham, who are 3 to the good and hungry for more.
Lewis Flatman wants to get on the ball at every possible moment. Stuart Bromhead says, absolutely brilliant, have time to sip my tea. I feel exactly the same.
Flatman looking to turn provider this time, maybe. Floats it towards Jack Dean. Owen Dean's back there as well.
It was a great cut back from Owen Dean.
think it was Jack Dean who got the touch, and Owen Dean was waiting. Canane was very close to it as well.
Just thinking, we met Martin Tyler before the game, who's here watching. He would have had some words to say about that Flatman opener.
Yep. Cooksley pressing from the front. And again, the ball forward ends up with Farnham, but Canane's touch goes out of play. But even Ryan Canane will be smiling at what he's seen from
Don't count your chickens.
Farnham so far.
Don't count your chickens. The first time this season that Ryan Canane was seen smiling.
Did see him smile at Camberley when he scored.
Yeah, and at Jersey at full-time whistle.
Troyer was just trying to switch to play, but Jackson was alert to it.
That was sensible. Oh, it's just run across him.
Troyer gets in there. Evades the challenge of Cooksley. Now it's
nice.
Edwards offside. Farnham kept the good line there, and much to the delight of the travelling fans.
Again, it was Farnham's lax passing in the middle that caused the problems. Nothing too untoward. Sutton aren't creating too many chances out of their own steam. It's from Farnham mistakes, normally from overplaying more than anything else.
Yeah, they were guilty of giving it away in their own half there. In the middle of the park. Just got to be careful. Flatman with a free header, really. Didn't get enough on it. That's not going to find its target there from Kinder.
Tell you what, it's the perfect ground for a long throw artist, isn't it? So much space either side of the pitch.
Kalu looking over the top.
Not terrible.
Might come for Dean Rule. And Ogundenga completely missed his clearance, but they get away with it, and they're into Farnham territory again now, Sutton. With Tones starting the attack, and now it's Liam Moore. Tones again, looking to get to the byline on the left flank. Cross comes in, away by Canane. Traore will get there.
First true moment for Sutton, created themselves. Great tackle.
Always Farnham bodies around the Sutton players when they try to progress down the field. So they go long again. And when you put it into an area where Ryan Canane is, you're very rarely going to come out on top.
Yeah, Mark Waters' question, why is Mark Waters not playing? It's because we actually scouted him when we beat Kingstonian at our place in this very cup. So Mark Waters is cup-tied. Which is a shame for him, because he'd have been chomping at the bit to get involved in, well, certainly feel more involved in a potential cup win for Farnham, having only come in and played, I think, 5 league games before Farnham lifted the trophy.
Yeah, but he's made a really positive impact.
Yeah, he's been fantastic. He is here this evening, watching along.
Jack Dean. Across to Canane. And they have had plenty of joy with that sort of ball.
Thought they were going to get it again. And again, they've come away with it. Second ball. Oh, that was a poor decision from
was
Harry
caught,
Coxey.
and it is a 3-on-3 momentarily. Farnham players getting back, but Traore keeps going. Canane in the way of the shot. Another one comes in. That time from Kinder.
Yeah, Harry Coxey holds his hands up. He knows that was all created off the back of some sloppy play in midfield. And that's what Farnham need to guard against. They need to continue to do what they've been doing so well in these opening 32 minutes, because they've put those balls in the channel, they've picked up the seconds. This Sutton side don't seem to be so sharp in those areas, especially when Farnham play long. And they've had all the success from those positions and also from set pieces, playing it around, although it allows us to show off potentially not the thing to do. And this game isn't dead and buried, but you wouldn't want to see Sutton get the next goal.
Yeah, they've just given it away a couple of times in the middle of the park, which I'm sure Paul Johnson at home will be shouting at his screen about. Kalu looking for Flatman, and it's well weighted from Kalu. Flatman into Liddell, who turns, trying to get a yard for a shot. Dean Rule might have been the better option.
I think he did pretty well, Adam Liddell, bar the last touch of the ball.
Edwards. Flatman was caught. Eccleston certainly went for the ball.
He did. It's a foul. It's a foul and no more. It's a foul. No, Flatty was just quicker, which I don't say very often.
He just seems to have an extra yard in him tonight, Flatman. And again, Farnham's big men struck forward. Jack Dean has been a threat all night from these situations, is calling for it at the back post. Ryan Canane will be in the mix as well. And Cooksley's delivery, maybe
Four again.
Not quite what he was looking for. Here comes Sutton again, looking to conjure something up on the transition, but Karoma puts an end to that. And he's brought down.
Yeah, it's very good from Lamar Karoma, did his job well. 2 poor deliveries from Harry Cooksley on the spin. I'm surprised Lewis Flatman didn't take it based on a delivery that he put in only 5 minutes or so ago towards the back post for Owen Dean. But yeah, if you are watching along and you're local to Farnham, or if you've just been interested or you've followed the season, do get down to the Memorial Ground for 3 o'clock kickoff on Saturday, where Farnham will lift the trophy against Collier's Wood. A big moment for the town. First time in 118-year history, Farnham get promoted to step 4 of the non-league pyramid. So do get down, cheer on the boys, because we're still going for that unbeaten season. But more importantly, we get to lift the trophy and have that moment. So do get down if you can.
Yeah, that unbeaten run was almost brought to an end on Tuesday. Cobham had their chances, but it's a different Farnham we're seeing tonight. With Owen Dean now. Liddell backed into the defender.
Not really. I mean, he's looked for it, Liddell, but he has been cleaned out.
He stayed down, Liddell. He was clever.
I thought he was just too clever for the defender. I'm surprised that's not a penalty. I mean, the defender gets nowhere near the ball. We can all see that. We've got to watch it back. As Farnham retained the ball, it was good from Owen Dean.
Yeah, Kalu gives it away there. And
well.
wins the throw off Edwards. I can see why the referee didn't give the penalty.
He was in a good position, referee.
Maybe not much the defender could have done about it. Maybe an element of sympathy as well with the scoreline.
I think probably 50% sympathy. But having rewatched it, you know, it's one of those that sometimes it's given, sometimes it's not.
But Farnham won't be too upset. They're well in control of this. Karoma was tripped and
Almost would have preferred the...
Yeah, I would have preferred play to have been allowed to go on there. But Farnham have the free kick in their own half, and Canane's going to launch it.
Another great pass for our pacey winger, Lewis Flatman.
Yeah, not quick enough to get on the end of that one.
Amanda Liddell says, can't wait to watch Saturday and watch Adam Liddell. Love mum.
The man has been very good so far tonight, Adam.
He has, and his mum has been a staunch supporter throughout the season, since Adam came in. Another excellent addition to this Farnham Town squad.
Karoma's header. Claims of handball waved away, and here's Edwards. Skips past Kalu.
Chance we can get it out wide.
Kalu got back in well. Rule was looking to release Owen Dean quickly there.
Oh,
That's another scuffed clearance, which was under no pressure whatsoever.
I have to say, Sutton have been far more considered in their approach since they've gone down to 3-0. That sounds ridiculous, but that's a great throw.
Liddell's touch. Here's Flatman. Bodies around him, finds Liddell again. Wanders into the area. Cooksley wanted it there from Kalu. Instead, Farnham have gone all the way back to the goalkeeper.
Oh,
confidently done by Nash.
Very confidently done by Pat Nash. And Brandon Kalu is a man available.
6 minutes until the break. Farnham with 3 early goals. Maybe slightly taken their foot off the gas since Flatman's second and Farnham's third. Cooksley was looking to get in, but
3 really good goals for Farnham though. If we think back, Jack Dean obviously got us started with a lovely header from a corner, and then Flatman brace, which, I mean, you could watch football across the country this weekend, you won't see 2 better goals than Lewis Flatman's. Really good. 2 very different goals as well.
Edwards. Pressurised by Kalu, and it's forced another error. And how Farnham would love another chance.
Kill it off.
Half-time.
Yeah, absolutely kill it off.
And there are 5 men on the bench. I'm sure Jimmy Hibbert would like to make use of as many as he can.
Yeah, and men on the bench that are looking to prove a point for what will now be 5 extra games from here, you'd expect. With the final on the 1st of May. Whether Farnham get there or not, we'll see in the next sort of 50 minutes or so.
Flatman's long throw. Canane challenged for it, and it's not away. Owen Dean might fancy a crack. Canane certainly did. Looking to replicate Lewis Flatman's heroics from earlier on, but instead now it's Sutton coming forward and Harry Cooksley having to defend, and he wins the free kick that time from Jake Tomes.
Just more experienced play from a very experienced central midfielder. Probably not as quick as the player who's up against, but just used his body so well and bought the foul.
Bit of banter there behind the goal between the 2 sets of fans. As Dean Rule picks it up. Liddell, really good turn, sharp turn from Liddell. Another free kick for Farnham. I've lost count of the amount of fouls they've won in these sort of positions.
I think it's only been 1 yellow card so far. The final, Liam, will be played at Meadowbank, Dorking Wanderers ground, on the 1st of May. We think it's a Wednesday night, 7:45 kickoff. And obviously, if we do get there, we'd love as many Farnham Town fans or followers as we possibly can to get down there.
Canane was the target. Edwards can bring it away. Tones, and that's a nice touch. Edwards looking to spin away. Showing signs of life, Sutton. But it's Farnham that are knocking on the door. The rain's starting to come down.
You're right, yeah. We're nicely tucked up. Away from it up here.
That's good feet there from Williams. But the pass doesn't match.
Hold up. Yeah, what a gorgeous April evening, spring evening, as the rain falls in front of us. And it's about 5 degrees and we're all in coats.
Owen Dean can keep this in. Played the cross in first time. It's not going to stay in. Looks like this first half is going to just peter out a little bit, which Farnham won't mind one bit.
No, they won't. No, they won't.
that really lively start. They came out quick, put the game to bed really in the first 22 minutes.
Yeah, as the wind is starting to really pick up as well.
Yeah, and you see that with that goal kick. Flatman looking to spread it, and the wind's going to take that as well. But lots of these balls are being picked up in that sort of area, often by Farnham. And again, the wind. Benefits Sutton this time. Now it's Eccleston. And they're just a bit sloppy in possession there.
Oh, Harry
took a chance.
Did.
Nash.
That's a good kick if he can flick it on.
Doesn't need to, it's going to come for Jackson anyway. And Farnham have 4 bodies in attacking areas. One of them's Flatman. For once didn't get his finish right, does get a corner though.
Fell for him in my heart. Skipped a beat as he got his shooting foot away, but didn't quite make the connection. The first half hat-trick for Lewis Flatman would have been quite something, especially if he'd nestled one in from there. It would have been quite some hat-trick.
Yeah, and he'll wonder if he might get brought off at half-time. He'll want to seal that hat-trick right now, but of course no guarantees. He does get hooked.
I think he might be one of the players who might stay on because he played on Tuesday. I think your sort of Lids, Owen Dean, Cooks, these Kinanes, they're probably more at risk.
Another good delivery. Might come for Joe Jackson. Little chasing, but that will be seen out by Reeves. And just up to the referee whether he wants to add on any stoppage time in this first half, which has been one out of the top draw if you're a Farnham follower.
Question from RM Boom 29. Who are we playing Saturday? Where will we lift the trophy? We're playing Colliers Wood at home, and we will lift it after the game in front of the stand, the main stand.
Colliers Wood, who've had some important games as of late.
Yeah, they're fighting for their lives down there. That's going to be no easy game, as we found when we travelled to their place about 10 weeks ago. I mean, we struggled. We limped to a 1-0 win in the 85th minute.
Yeah, that was not straightforward. Edwards just backing into Kalu. Good battle between those two. Edwards comes out on top, and Kalu, frustrated at losing out, gives away the foul. And that's not really what the doctor ordered on the stroke at half-time. I'm
surprised it wasn't a foul against Edwards in the first place. It was holding on to Kalu, but Kalu with a very silly foul. It's one of those that you can see a mile off. He's just destined to foul him. It's a good opportunity. Whether or not he tries to clip this into an attacking area or if he goes for goal, we're yet to see.
He's looking at his teammates, so looks like he's going to cross it in. It's a decent delivery, and at the back post there was a man waiting, and Toom almost got on the end of it, and this time Liddell might skip away, but Williams' touch was good. But Sutton can come again. Chance for him to get back into this before half-time.
Big lads are still in the box as well.
And it's in towards the number 10, Liam Moore, who got a great contact on it at the near post, but Pat Nash not only saved it, but held on to it.
Brilliant save from Pat Nash. I think it's hit him in an area we won't discuss, but what a fantastic half, and a good way to end it as well, with Farnham doing a bit more defending. But 3-0 against a League Two outfit is quite a first half, Ben Smith.
Yeah, Nash feeling the effects of that. Like you said, I think he might have caught him where he wouldn't want to be caught, but that's a sign of a top quality keeper. The first real difficult save he's had to make, and he made it.
I think there's a light up here.
Pretty easy.
Is this, excuse me?
Just trying to work out if we can be lit up.
No, I'm not going to press any buttons because it doesn't look like
anything could happen.
Yeah.
Anyway, Farnham have come here against league opposition.
This one here?
And if we talk about the goals, the first one came from a set piece, Jack Dean.
This is the light switch.
Who
there we go.
Has threatened from set pieces all through the season. We've seen him score some spectacular goals, Jack Dean, but that was one he's been threatening to score for a little while now from a corner.
Yeah, absolutely, and he's very good in the air, but he didn't have to jump. He just stood there, stood his ground, knocked it back across the goalkeeper, and like we've said a few times, the ground is very hard. I'm not sure it's got a huge amount of depth to it because of the fact that they've had to rip up the 4G, which obviously means it's very flat. but it's taken a couple of bounces and gone into the bottom corner. But that just felt like the beginning of what was going to be a nice, easy first half of Farnham Town, and it quickly became 2.
Yeah, Lewis Flatman with a spectacular shot. He really sort of cut across it with his right foot, and it just flew into the top corner. And it would have been a special moment for him, because there was a few fans coming behind that goal, and he wheeled away straight to them. What a moment for him!
It was a brilliant goal. It sounds ridiculous, but Lewis Flatman doesn't score basic goals. We're going to move. Lewis Flatman doesn't really score basic goals. He scores brilliant goals in brilliant moments, and that was one of them, and Farnham really started to turn the screw, but it just fell for him, and he struck it so sweetly, flat, and the goalkeeper had no chance with that one, and nor did he have any chance with the third either.
No, it was a very difficult, almost harder chance to deal with, because it clipped up from Cooksley. His ball was weighted perfectly, but to take it on the chest in such a way that it was then perfectly in his path for him to just sort of swipe it in, that was... might not look as spectacular, but arguably was a better goal.
Yeah, I almost feel like a reverse angle. I'm not sure we'll perfectly have it, but... Or maybe Saj is over there, but the reverse angle from not this side, but the other side of the pitch, where you'll see the ball come across him. You'll see Flatman, because he's got his back to goal. When he takes the touch, he's got his back to goal, and then he has to swivel and just instinctively try and find the goal, trying to find the corner. Goalie again, no chance. No. Comes in off the inside of the post, and it looks fantastic for the cameras. But again, nice to be able to celebrate with your fans behind the goal at a Football League ground.
Yeah, and I don't know if you've noticed it, but it seems like tactically Farnham have definitely made a couple of tweaks. It seems like Liddell has been very much the lone frontman.
Yeah.
And also interesting with Joe Jackson, like you say, playing on the right, maybe because of the fitness levels. But Farnham have been taking this very seriously, and they're not afraid to make tactical changes even this late in the season. They're not stuck with that 4-2-2-2 with Jack Dean providing the width on the right-hand side.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it is absolutely blowing a gale, by the way, and it is pissing it down. It's not nice conditions, and it's conditions that I'm delighted with 3-0 up going into the second half with, because it's not going to be an easy second half at all, and Farnham are going to be kicking against the wind. But anyway, yeah, it's nice tactical switches. It's nice to see them have a positive effect. I think you're right. I think we're playing more of a 4-2-3-1. We've seen Dean Rule occupy quite a lot of the left-hand side, but at the same time, Flatman has moved across as well. Probably those two more than any others have swapped roles in the 10 and the left attacking midfield role. Owen Dean's been very clearly on the right-hand side, and Liddell, I think, has been really, really good. Probably, despite him not scoring or being involved in any of the 3 goals so much, he's been one of the best players on the pitch. I think he's occupied the defenders, he's backed in, he's used his strength, and he's just used a bit of guile and a bit of know-how. I know we talk about it quite a lot, but a bit of know-how just to make the most of the opportunities when the ball has gone forward. And they have been the chances that Farnham have seen the most success from. It's from Canane and Jack Dean getting the ball forward, be it into a channel where Flatman and Rule and Liddell have had a huge amount of success, or they've been headed clear, and then it's your Cookseys, your Lamars, who've picked up the second ball and Farnham have been able to play. So it's been a really, really top performance. I think what Farnham need to guard against now is, look, they're going to make changes. How can they make sure that it continues to be as free-flowing and fluid as it was in that first 45?
Just to touch again on the tactics, it's quite interesting the difference in the direct play we see from Farnham tonight. Often you see they clip up towards Owen Dean and he's looking to flick it on for someone to run in behind, or often you see Shamal Edwards on the pitch and he's always a target with those long balls. But the difference with Liddell, he's not running in behind necessarily, it's coming more to his feet with his back to goal, and then the move starts from there. That's not something you see so much from Farnham, play it into the feet with that direct ball. Yeah,
it's true. I suppose you don't have to as much when you're playing 2 up front, because they're always looking to link up between themselves, and they've got players coming in behind and running on past them. And yeah, with the single frontman, especially with Liddell in his build and what his skill sets are, it is keeping the ball, good first touch, making the good decision. I don't think Adam Liddell, I think he'd admit it himself, he's not a natural 30-goal a season number 9, but what he does give you is a huge amount of activity at the front, and defenders hate playing against him because he's everywhere. He'll play on the right wing, left wing, down the middle. You just don't know where he's going to be. And when he's on his game, that first touch, turn, use of his body, and for a little guy, he's got immense strength as well. And he's played at a very high level, Adam Little, and I think he's shown it tonight, probably more than quite a few times over the past few weeks, that he's willing to get back up to that level as well.
It's a unique occasion tonight, playing against Football League opposition, albeit much changed, or basically an academy side. Do you think it's gone the way Farnham would have expected in terms of the amount they've had of the ball and how easy, for want of a better word, it's been to sort of cut through the Sutton defence and score at will?
I think from a attacking standpoint, it's probably exactly what they expected. I think physically we were expecting to be more dominant, and tactically we'll be better, right? We've played 45 games so far, and in a very, very similar system, playing to feet, out wide and making things happen in that sort of boxy area, but just outside the 18-yard box. And we've also seen a bit of success today with flick on, especially out in the wide areas. But I think what they will be surprised with is Sutton's inability to keep the ball when they have it, and that's probably what surprised me the most. When the centre backs have it, they're just looking long so much, and I think when you look downfield and you've got players like Canane 50 yards away from you, why are you trying to hit the long ball against players like him? When, let's be honest, the players out there are not target men, are they? They're tricky, skillful, sort of classic attacking midfield players. You want to get that in behind, balls in behind the fullback. And we're just not seeing that. They've not worked any real chances through their own endeavours. It's been, Cooksey got caught on the ball in the middle. I think Lamar got caught. Dean Rule got caught. There's a few times where they've looked good on the break, maybe not made the perfect decision when they got to the edge of the box. But I'm surprised that they haven't got a pattern of play where they build from the back, they mock it from one side to another. You see it with Farnham all the time. Ball comes to Canane, goes across to Jack Dean, goes to Jared Jackson. He gets blocked off, comes quickly across to Dean, Canane, either long or short or into Cooksey. There's a clear pattern that Farnham tried to repeat, and when it's not working for them, they'll just go through that pattern again until it finds its system. And I expected Sutton Academy to have a better pattern of play, or at least try and install something from the off. And really, they've tried the long ball, which is just exactly what Farnham would have been delighted to hear at the start of this game.
Absolutely, and Farnham obviously still have some work to do in this game, but looks like they're strong favourites from here to advance to the final. And what you would say about Farnham now is there's a real winning mentality in the team, in the squad, and in the club in general. Obviously, had a cup win last season, and every piece of history or accolade or milestone they can chase, they're doing it. They're going for it, and it means a lot to them. That's coming from the top, right? That's something that you've been trying to instill ever since you guys got involved, and ever since Paul Johnson and Jimmy Hibbert got involved as well.
I think if we think back to last season and that win right at the end in the cup final, it was such a clear thing that made a difference to the culture of the club, and it was it's not the most prestigious cup, the combination cup, but it's a cup. You have the moment, you start to breed that winning mentality, and we kind of picked up as we left off in the new season, despite a pretty rocky pre-season. We talked a lot about the fact that that's not got any correlation, but we got off to a flying start in August, and we finished the season 10 unbeaten and won a cup, and this team, I feel, has a never say die attitude, despite not really having that tested that much this season. I think the only time we've really been tested on that is when we went out the Vars to Bridgewater, who, to be honest, had a better never say die attitude than us in that moment, that 60 seconds of craziness as we scored in the 90th minute and they scored in the 91st. It was, but that's the only time I can think of this season where we've not looked like we're going to get a result. Even at Jersey, we were so poor for 65, 70 minutes, but that flick of the switch on that 70th minute, little chance, and then the ball falls for Kai in the 76th, 78th minute, whatever it was, get their goal, and as soon as that goal goes in, you knew it was a matter of time that Farnham were going to find an equaliser. And like Jono said, and I think a few of the boys said after that game, if we'd have played for another 5 minutes, we'd have won that game, because it was the momentum was so in our favour, and we just look like we're going to steamroll everything that comes in front of us. Now, that will change. I think what's really important, if people are watching along, and you're Farnham fans, and you've watched this season, maybe you're a new Farnham fan, maybe you've just watched this season, you've come along for the ride, you've got excited, you've come to the Memorial Ground, you've enjoyed it, and you've only seen Farnham win games. What a brilliant season it's been, but let me tell you, next season is going to be a lot harder. I expect us to be good, don't get me wrong, I expect us to be a contender next season, but don't expect us to go all season winning every game or unbeaten. It's just totally unrealistic. So, I think next season we're going to have a much more reliance on a fan group that gets behind the boys in the low moments, because there will be low moments. I think if I can identify a team like Rains Park this year, who got off to a flying start, they obviously won our league last year, so it's a good blueprint to follow. Got off to a flying start in the Isthmian South Central as they got promoted. I think they were second for a long, long time. I think they led the league in sort of October, November, and then they just went through this massive slump. And it's in those moments when the playoffs are still so important that you just need a team and a fan group to come together, remember the good times, remember all the times and why you've become a fan and why you support these boys, and moments like Flatman's goal this evening, go, those are the moments we're capable of. We need to get behind the boys and get them going again, because there will be more of a roller coaster of emotions next year. So I'm just preparing the fans for that, because it's not going to be the walkover it was this year. As I said, I expect us to be contenders. We'll be doing everything from our perspective behind the scenes to make sure we are contenders. But the boys have got to go on and do it again. And that's not easy either. There's only been very few teams that have ever gone and done it again, back to back to back. So, let's see. I'm really excited for next season. Those are new grounds. Those are new teams that we get to play against. And, we bang on about it. But it is Farnham's first time in that level of football. And that is really exciting.
It is, as the players re-emerge and just trying to spot if there have been any changes, but
can't see any.
There's 10 outfield players down there. 9 actually. Maybe there is one change.
No, someone's just come out. Owen Dean.
Yeah, so no changes at half time. And yeah, you talk about special moments. I think it's very fair to say that first half was memorable, and Lewis Flatman will never forget scoring 2 wonder goals, really, at Sutton United. And he'll be delighted that he's got time to possibly make it a hat-trick. But, of course, more importantly, Farnham need to hold on. Well, just kill this game off, if it isn't already. I'm sure Sutton will come out with energy and with some desire to get back into this. Nothing to lose from here for them. They are making some changes by the looks of things. So, efforts to get back into the game. See if Farnham can continue their dominance in slightly more tricky conditions.
You have questions in the chat. Where will the final be played? The final will be played at Meadowbank, Dorking Wanderers ground. It's also the home of Surrey County football, and that will be May the 1st, 7:45, and hopefully after 45 minutes of action here at Sutton United, Farnham will be there, waiting on their opponents between Met Police and South Park, which I think is next Tuesday.
Yeah, so just a couple of weeks to go of this very memorable season that's, I was going to say, had its ups and downs, but it's been mostly ups. We mentioned the Vars exit being the only real heartbreak of the campaign, but a League and Cup double would really rubber stamp what's been a triumph of a campaign.
Yeah, people watching along from Ecuador, if you're watching from around the world, do drop a comment. Let us know where you're watching from. Paul Johnson will see you in the comments where you're watching from, what side of the sofa the gaffer is watching from this evening as he's at home ill.
Oh, indeed, wanted that. And it's going to roll out. Wondered if the wind was going to keep that in, but Not to be.
It's remarkably like stopped raining. It just rained like biblically over the course of half time, and it stopped.
Wouldn't be a Farnham game this season without a bit of rain. Here's Flatman.
Yeah, that wasn't beautiful as the first half.
No. Weaker foot. Saw his name in lights and had every right to.
Karis Olivia says flat trick pending. I like that.
Good, good suggestion for social media captions later on.
I quite like that. I'll be taking it.
I'm worried about your phone.
Nah, don't worry about it. My phone is balanced precariously on top of a piece of scaffolding.
Traore's touch was a bit loose and Dean Rule looking to swoop in. Finds Flatman. Cooksley and now Kalu. Farnham looking to start this half in the same vein as the first. That's going to...
Stayed in. Ooh.
Took a chance there, the defender. You wonder when Jimmy Hibbert will decide to start making some changes.
Yeah, I wonder if Jono's been on the phone. Just to chat it through and see what he's thinking. I doubt it. I imagine Jono's sat on his sofa with a beer in his hand.
Little. Yeah, I'm sure he's enjoying himself, Paul Johnson. No responsibilities and no QPR to worry about.
You can see the wind's taking its effect, though.
Actually helped Sutton that time.
Yeah, it's going to help Sutton all half.
Tones looking to take on Jack Dean and went down quite easily, really. Here's Liddell.
Someone's watching from Sweden and not so happy at the moment as a Sutton fan.
Sutton Swede. Not the first viewer from Sweden in the club's history.
Not at all. As the wind again takes its effect. Great touch from Adam Liddell. Really doing my analysis justice there.
Flatman was going for an audacious flick through to her, indeed, who made the run. Farnham feel like they've got licence to try.
Oh, that's a chance.
Yeah, they've got numbers here. Sutton, Farnham are stretched. And Canane blocked the first effort, and then it's hooked away by Cooksley, but they won't like how much space Sutton had there. Farnham.
There's a chance as well on the other end.
Owen Dean wins the header. Now Liddell.
It's like a basketball game.
Flatman's in some space. Liddell holds on to it.
Oh.
Was looking for Owen Dean, not on the same wavelength though. But that turnover will bring some alarm bells because Farnham are absolutely stretched.
A viewer from California. A viewer from Iraq. All over the world. And Toby Fuller from Kempshire.
All right.
From Iraq, Ecuador and Kempshire.
Global fan base.
Not just a club from Surrey.
Good to see Sutton fans from all over the place joining us as well. Wish them all the best.
Yeah, Farnham just need to get themselves settled back into the second half. Can't let Sutton get the next goal. Change the dynamic of this game massively. Especially with the conditions changing out there as well.
Kalu lets that one bounce and
That's going to stay
wants to see it out, but he had to get a touch on it. Gets the goal kick. Could have been awkward for him.
And Flatty's brother Jake in the comments as well. Get up, meathead. That's my brother. Yeah, Lewis Flatman with a first half brace. Two brilliant goals, which you'll see across social media over the next week.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll be clipped up on all sorts of platforms.
Front facing Brian from Essex. Average JME enjoyer either. Watching from Sutton. Disappointing you've not made the trip. Ooh.
Toon. And now Tones. Traore. Canane away. Sutton throw.
Belfast, Balham. God, we're everywhere. It's more international like the Eurovision Song Contest.
Yeah, the analytics graph, but very colourful. Much like Farnham's kits. Here's Owen Dean.
Sensible from Owen Dean. Well, a bit of early success from Sutton's young players in this second half. As we look down from this very high gantry.
Jackson. Owen Dean looking quickly for Liddell, who's looking to set it to Dean Rule.
Didn't need to do it.
Eccleston, who looks like he's moved to centre-back as a result of that half-time switch. Joe Jackson getting there ahead of Tones, but collected by Reeves. And his cross into a good area, but Pat Nash came out quickly to deal with it.
Good decision from Pat Nash, well claimed. As Chris Young watches on from Richmond, Virginia. Gary Thrift from Chertsey. And I won't read that one out.
Yeah, I thought there was something awry when someone said they were watching from Iraq. Cooksley. Given away again there by Farnham.
Yeah, it's just got a bit sloppy in the middle.
Edwards dispossessed. Cooksley looking up.
And it's much harder for Farnham to be able to play that long ball against the wind.
Yeah.
Adrian Brown asks who's in the other semi-final. The other semi-final is next Tuesday. Met Police versus South Park, an all Isthmian and South Central tie. Two teams that we will play in that league next year.
Jackson wins it back and is looking for Dean Rule.
Cyprus.
Cyprus tractor boy.
Wow.
Wide appeal.
Who doesn't love a bit of Surrey County Cup semi-final action on a Thursday evening?
Certainly been treated to some good action so far. A lot of it coming from Lewis Flatman, who has it now. Owen Dean looking to find Flatman again. Just couldn't get there ahead of Eccleston, who defended it well. Karoma's pass.
It's actually worked out beautifully. He didn't look once. But the fact his pass was so poor actually helped him out.
Jackson, who's been positive at the start of the second half. Dean Rule gets in there.
Farnham just much sloppier in this opening exchanges.
Cooksley. Now Canane assesses his options. Gets it back from Kalu. Now looking for Liddell, whose touch was good. Flatman.
Good.
Dean Rule. Jackson's in space on the right. Here he is. Joe Jackson. Karoma. Put Cooksley under a bit of pressure, but he deals with it. Cooksley again. And now Jack Dean's ball over the top. And
just bounces up. It's windy out there. Look how much it's falling back towards where he kicked it.
Yeah, Farnham not enjoying the same rhythm they had in the first half. Flatman. These might be the situations where they do cause problems, though. Flatman. Liddell wants it from Jackson. Jackson keeps running though. Now Flatman. Owen Dean.
Does well, Owen Dean in the end.
Rule with some space.
Didn't look.
He wanted the 1-2 of Owen Dean, but Sutton were alert to it. And Traore brings it out.
Zach asks, wait, is this the actual Sutton United in Div 2? It is, and we are at their ground, but I have to, be honest and say this is mainly their academy boys, as Sutton have a very, very important fixture that might save their Football League status on Saturday.
Here's Tones. Gets it back from Moore. Tones into the area. Little has to be alive here. Gets it out, but only as far as Moore, who let fly. And it would have taken something special to beat Nash from that sort of distance. But it's a couple of yards over the bar, and we are going to see the first Farnham Town change as Shamal Edwards enters the field. And Dean Rule is the man being withdrawn, played a lot of minutes recently. No surprise that he's the first one withdrawn.
Yeah, probably the most expected substitution. Having played Tuesday and Saturday and Thursday and Tuesday. So, yeah, well-earned rest for Dean Roy. I thought he was good in the first half. I don't think he's had a brilliant start to the second, but I thought he was really good in the first half, kept the ball well. And Shamal Edwards will come on what looks like... Wonder if he'll play as a 9 or if he'll play on the left wing.
Looks like he's gone up front. Alongside Adam Liddell. Here's Tones for Sutton, with Reeves in support of him. Jackson strong in the challenge.
And Dean
just looking to get his feet sorted out. And now Cooksley looking to release Liddell. Waits for support. Gets the throw in.
Yeah, no rush from Farnham to get the ball forward. Harry
Cooksley.
Couple in a row for Harry Cooksley. Not sure if it's complacency or if it's fatigue, but Cooksley not getting the ball under control in his usual way.
Jack Dean's header finds the yellow shirt. Had a lot more possession in this second half, Sutton.
Yeah, I think they've been good. But again, exactly what we talked about at half-time. There's a bit more to their pattern of play. Like, you kind of see what they're trying to achieve. And again, they've looked good on the break. I haven't really managed to carve out any true chances away from that. I'm going to check the current scores around the grounds, because there's some big games in the Isthmian South Central League. And the key game there is probably the Binfield game. Binfield lead 4-1, which takes them out of the relegation zone. Ashford currently losing 2-1, which keeps them in that conversation. Leatherhead winning 3-0 at Badshot Lane.
Edwards getting involved against his namesake. And it's Sutton who emerge with the ball. Edwards.
No foul in there.
Cross was blocked. Comes for Traore this time. And now Tones. Traore. Men in the box, but too much on the cross.
Yeah, poor cross. The other really, really big game across the leagues is in step 3. Hanwell versus Plymouth Parkway. Hanwell lead 2-0, which pulls them out of the relegation scrap and puts Plymouth Parkway into it. There's some massive games.
Kai Tanner.
The homecoming
is welcome back to Sutton. And it will be Harry Cooksley, who has had a couple of loose touches in the last few minutes, getting a rest now. He's done his job tonight, a couple of assists. Kai Tanner would love a goal contribution of his own.
He would, yeah, for context. Kai Tanner spent the last couple of years at Sutton in this exact setup, the academy. Was one of the most highly thought of players. But unfortunately, as soon as he went out on loan to step 3 with Corinthian Casuals, got injured in the warm-up, broke his ankle and was out for 9-10 months. And was unfortunately released in the summer by Sutton. Fell out of love with the game a bit and joined Farnham to rekindle that love, and he's had a good season.
Yeah, he's had more involvement as the season's gone on.
And he's going to play in that Cooksey 8 role.
Yeah, a Tanner-Karoma midfield partnership. Eccleston. And that's a good touch in there by Toome. Now Edwards for Toome again. Fenello had wandered into an offside position, and that broke down there for Sutton. But they get it back on the halfway line.
Yeah, Sutton have been much better in this second half. Controlled the ball a lot better. Farnham obviously in a different mood. Don't want to waste too much energy with a game Saturday, game Tuesday, game Thursday, game Saturday. That
And
is
Wednesday.
not. Yeah,
They hope.
that
Pat
is.
Nash going to claim.
It's not me exaggerating. That genuinely is the fixture list over the next 8 or 9 days. Binfield now 5-1 up. You'd say they will finish today outside of the relegation zone. They've put together what can only be described as the Great Escape. And Chipstead and Ashford are now in trouble.
Tanner's first touch, and that's an interesting ball there from Owen Dean. It just cut across it too much for Edwards to get on the end of it. Shamal Edwards back in the goals as of late. Farnham's top goal scorer.
Yeah, no real implications in the Golden Boot race so far, despite 3 goals going in for Farnham Town. Lewis Flatman, I think, was on, I want to say 13. I think he's moved him to 15, which is a very good return. And the opener was from, tonight's centre-back Jack Dean, and he's certainly not in the Golden Boot race. His brother, though, is, and still on the field.
Fenello. Edwards is going to cross. Gets it again after Kinane's intervention. Beats Kalu. And Toome almost got there. Adam Liddell challenging for that one. Farnham maybe just a little bit leggy at this stage. They're half an hour away from a spot in the Surrey County Cup final as they possibly... I was wondering if they're going to prepare another change.
Jimmy Ladd, 89. What league will you be in next season? The Isthmian South Central, most likely at step 4. Only started watching Farnham this season. I'm very impressed with the standards of football they play, and I would like to wish them all the best. We appreciate that, Jimmy.
Harry Cooksey just wandering down the tunnel.
Off for an early shower.
Yeah. Karoma releases it quick enough. It's been a much more pedestrian second half. Not quite the fireworks of the first. Owen Dean got the flick. Now Edwards chasing. Farnham, they'll feel, got the game won in the first 22 minutes and have been able to coast ever since.
Yeah, it's been a pretty dull 20 minutes of football if you're a Farnham Town fan.
But they've not given up a clear-cut opportunity, is what you would say. So,
Lewis Flatman is going to chase this down. He does really well.
yeah, too strong there, Flatman, for Eccleston. Kalu into Liddell. Traore.
No one gambling beyond Liddell.
It's going to come for Flatman.
Oh, poor pass.
He
from Lewis
rushed his
Flatman.
pass there. Kinane has been as assured as ever tonight.
Yeah, I think he's been excellent.
Throwing goes Farnham's way. Gone a bit quiet out there.
Yeah, I think it's just the whole excitement of the first half has not been lived up to in this second half. To no real surprise. And I think Jimmy Hibbert will be pretty pleased, to be honest. Didn't need Farnham to come and chase this down. It's not about putting up a score in the cup competitions, it's about advancing to the next stage. And that next stage is the final.
Farnham chasing a historic unbeaten league campaign and a cup to go along with it. And they're closing in on just that. Certainly a place in the final. If you haven't seen Lewis Flatman's goals, just rewind the stream.
They're worth it.
They want offside, won't get it though. Edwards able to keep it in, and they'll have a throw by the corner flag. Looks like Charlie Postons is going to get a run out. Jimmy Hibbert staggering his substitutes. Michael Kinsella's also on the bench.
Imagine this will be for Lids.
Yep.
Yeah, I think he's been excellent tonight, Adam Little. Really, really good.
Yeah, no goal to show for his night's work, but his efforts.
Gets a clap and claps his fans.
Very much part of the reason Farnham have found themselves in this position. 22 minutes away from a place in the final, their second cup final in as many seasons. As I said at half-time, a real winning mentality about this club. They want as much silverware as they can get their hands on.
Absolutely.
It's been a campaign to remember. And more memories to be made from here. 2 weeks left. If we assume Farnham can reach the final. Charlie Postons with an opportunity straight away. Shot was deflected.
It was nicely worked from Farnham though. Quickly move forward to the new front man on the field.
Nice skill there from Tones. Looking down the line for Reeves. Jack Dean comes across. Farnham get the throw. And more time comes off the clock. Michael Kinsella rather serenaded there by
As he gets warmed up. I'm glad to see a Garp on up front.
Bobby Lambourne coming on for Sutton to replace Lanseni Traore. Pat Nash has had a very quiet night between the sticks.
One brilliant save though, have to say, right at the end of the first half, the best chance that Sutton have created. Charlie Postons trying to get his head on absolutely everything.
First touch for Lambourne wasn't the best. Edwards looking to spring away from Kinder. Still going, Edwards. He's got a real spring in his step for the last few weeks.
We nearly got away from him as well. Did well though, Kinder, stuck to his task.
Nenga, and now Adam Reeves.
A very true 4-3-3 now, Farnham Town.
Moore switches the play. Kalu not giving Edwards a minute to breathe. Tried to buy a free kick, referee not having it. Lambourne combining with Toome. Karoma.
Oh, got away with it though. Lamar Karoma turned back into trouble.
Khalil has to deal with that one. That will find Karoma. Look to hook it on first time. Sutton come again. Can they at least give their fans something to celebrate? Reeves. Canane perfectly placed to deal with it. Comes out again though to Tones. And now Reeves can cross again. Instead it's Tones. And Farnham deal with it. Charlie Possums is going to back into Eccleston.
That was good.
Flatman. Typical Flatman. Showboating.
Yeah, he's enjoying himself out there, Lewis Flatman. I think he's had a really, really good game. Obviously, his impacts have been in front of goal, but I think he's also just been really good on the ball. And he's worked hard. He's worked hard. When he has lost the ball, he's looked to win it back quickly. As Joe Jackson has a huge amount of space on the near side to us.
Postons points to where he wants it. Jackson holds.
Lazy from Aberdeen.
And now it's Toome. Not going to be cut out, so Edwards is onto it. Canane again gets it out. Kalu didn't react quick enough. Wants to see it out.
Does really well. Dean there was lazy. When he got given the ball, he needed to run ahead of Joe Jackson, who had a huge amount of space to drive into. Charlie Possons asked for it. Didn't find that pass, found Owen Dean in front of him and kind of poked at it. It was poor. As Rodrigo says, he's watching on from Argentina. The final is going to be at Meadowbank, Dorking Wanderers ground on the 1st of May, which is a Wednesday night.
I hope you can all make it to that. Farnham will be there if they can avoid a collapse in the last 17 minutes plus whatever is added on.
I don't think we'll be live streaming it, so you're going to have to get there. Oof.
Out to Reeves on this left-hand side. Just looking for Tones. Didn't get the right contact on the pass. Sutton huffing and puffing to no real avail. Flatman's header. Comes back at Ryan Canane.
It's been more than routine the second half. It's expend no energy, get through it. 15 minutes to go. I think there'll be another goal in this game towards the end for one team or another. But it's looked all but done now for Farnham Town.
It's probably been exactly a second half that Jimmy Hibbert and Paul Johnson watching at home would have wanted. Owen Dean finds Flatman. He's looking for Edwards. Holds it up for now. And gives it away. And now Edwards, who's still full of energy, goes forward. Shot is high and wide. I think Fenelo wanted a foul against Jack Dean there in the midst of all that.
Here comes Michael Kinsella.
Yeah.
As Old Arm says he's watching from Bulgaria. Owl Arm.
Yeah.
Call him Owl. Can't really read. And it's Jack Dean who's getting a break.
Yeah. Opened Farnham's account for the night, Jack Dean. And has filled in at centre-back very nicely. Michael Kinsella, who's been absent for most of the season. We've seen bits and pieces from him in recent weeks.
Yeah, coming back from a knee injury. After coming back from a knee injury, Kinsella, Vars winner with Chertsey a few years ago, and has been a player who has never lost a Farnham game. Only 2 players hold that stat. The other one is Daryl Sanders.
Another man who's been sidelined for quite a while. But we look forward to seeing him in claret and blue next term. His new contract was announced about a week ago. Tanner looking for Postance. Just beaten to it. Now it's Liam Moore for Sutton. And again, it's Ryan Kinane standing in their way.
Finally to get hold of the ball.
Foul there by Tanner.
I think Sutton have been good there in the second half. They've reacted exactly how their manager would have wanted them to. Come at this Farnham team, carve a few chances out, play on the counter. You know, it was never going to be easy tonight. It was never going to be easy tonight, but it's you know, they've showed character in the second half. This young Sutton side.
Yeah, could have easily dropped their heads and not bothered to get back into this, but they have tried.
That's nice.
And they might carve out an effort here. Just a loose touch in the end from Lambourne.
That's poor from Ryan Kinane.
Yeah, the first foot he's put wrong all night, and he's going to be tested here by Tones looking to go around the outside. And
that was a man versus a boy.
Yeah, that was very much that. Kinane's
all she wrote.
Kinane's slight lapse of judgment didn't lead to anything. Doesn't make many mistakes, and certainly doesn't get beaten around the outside very much.
No. 78 minutes played in this cup semi-final. Farnham need 3 goals to 0.
Yeah, it was a rampant start. If you could only catch the first 25 minutes and had to head out, you saw all you needed to see, really.
Number 9 has come all the way back to take this throw on the halfway line.
Yeah, Vinnie Toom with the strong arm.
Consender's on the floor.
Tones. Eccleston. And now Edwards, who has remained lively all game. Giant Edwards. That's given away, though. And Tanner couldn't capitalise at the first time of asking, can he at the second? Flatman.
Play it
Edwards
wide,
in all sorts of space on the left. If Flatman can find him, he went for it.
Poor pass. It's been very poor on the whole from Farnham Town in the second half.
Yeah. Just slightly taking their foot off the gas. Game's been over as a contest.
Now Charlie wants it. And that is a very, very poor pass in the grand scheme of things from Owen Dean, who hasn't had his best night. Frustrated.
Yeah, rather like Farnham, lively for the first 25 minutes and then just drifted a bit. Space on the left for Tones. Jackson closes him down. Back to Ogundenga. And now Lambourne, who's seen plenty of the ball since coming off the bench. Edwards now in space. Shamal Edwards stopped the cross coming in.
Another piece of information for you, if you didn't see, Hamworthy Rec were the only other unbeaten team in the top 10 steps of English football, including the Premier League, all the way down to step 6. They lost on Tuesday night. Farnham Town drew just, which means that Farnham Town are now the only team in England from the Premier League down to step 6, still unbeaten.
Here comes a throw away by Kinane. Volley on the edge of the box, doesn't get very far. Farnham get the throw, and they're 10 minutes now away from Meadowbank.
it'll be a good occasion. It's not a million miles from my house, which is always nice. Toby Fuller's looking for me to shout out the Domster. Who the Domster is, I'll never know. But I'm just hoping he's having a lovely day.
Yeah. Shout out Domster.
Is that a foul throw? What was the situation there? I'll stop watching if I'm honest. I'm more interested in the chat.
Yeah, 10 minutes for you to fire any further comments or questions at us before we disappear.
I treat it almost like a 15-minute Q&A as football's on in the background. That's a nice pass.
Kalou is going to get there, though. I think it's fitting that the season will end with a cup final, though. The last game of the campaign it will be on May the 1st.
Yeah, and we will have our presentation day at the ground on the 4th of May. DJ, food, drinks, and obviously the presentation of all of the end-of-season awards for the players. So you'll all be invited down there. We'll be publicising that on social media over the course of the next week or so. But May the 4th, Saturday, hopefully it will be a lovely day and we can stand outside in the clubhouse garden and have a few drinks and cheers to an amazing season.
Yeah, and hopefully there's not one but two trophies to celebrate.
Yeah, that would be nice. That would be nice.
Ogundenga. Sutton's race looks to be run. If they're going to get back into this, needs to happen now. Plenty of space on the right for Edwards. Kalou had come into the centre of the park to steal the ball there. If he didn't get it back, there'd have been trouble, and he slides in again.
As well there, Brandon Kalou. I think he's been good again tonight. Not really put a foot wrong. I think the whole back four, to be honest, have been very good from Farnham Town. Maybe the front four in the second half haven't quite done enough to keep hold of the ball, and we've hardly played in their half. But
I wonder what the highlights package will show of the second half.
yeah, I spent a couple of seconds there thinking about anything either goalkeeper had to do, and I can't remember a single moment.
Might just throw the Flatman shot that hit the corner flag in for a laugh.
Yeah.
Good tackle there by Karoma. Can Tanner give?
Get us something for the highlights package.
Owen Dean looking to pick out Flatman. Hasn't got the pace to get on the end of that. And even if he did, I think he's a bit too tired now.
Yeah, he didn't have the pace in the first minute, let alone in the 81st.
Lambourne looking to pick out Edwards, who did well to retrieve it.
He's been their live wire, hasn't he? Edwards on that right hand side. He hasn't really created anything brilliant, but he's been there out. That's a very poor pass.
Lambourne. Tones. Lambourne has room to cross, elects not to. Instead takes it past Jackson. And now an opportunity was there, and the shot was a decent one from Moore, but it's off target again. Just cannot seem to test Pat Nash.
It was that will make the highlights. I think it was well worked from the Sutton player on the left-hand side. Fed all the way out to the edge of the box, and you just want to see Pat make a save really in those circumstances, but just over the bar.
Some Sutton fans heading for the exits.
Shouts of, is there a fire drill? It wouldn't be a very busy fire drill. I think there's only 5 people leaving, and it is pissing it down. But I have to say, the Farnham fans have been very good tonight. Travelled quite a long way in poor conditions.
Opportunity again here.
And Ryan Canane is
that time trick it
again.
Pat Nash has a little lie down.
Yeah. He's not been busy enough
it's
to
about the only
justify
time he's
that.
had to hit the ground all night, really. Wonder if he'll even bother taking a shower.
Patrick Riley says he's going to miss the final because he's got to fly to Greece for a holiday. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Patrick. As long as you're there on Saturday, where we will be hosting the trophy lift at home to Collieswood.
Flicked on there, and Fenelo was in space, but the ball was ahead of him. And Canane this time gives it away. Edwards. Kane looking to block the cross. Edwards might deliver though. Into a decent area, Karoma got there. Pat Nash would have been on hand anyway.
Jonathan Horsnell, first time final have made the Surrey Senior Cup final. Yes, and it would definitely be a big one for the club.
Jackson looking for Edwards, just cut out.
Well, that's good.
Flatman's in all sorts of space on the right-hand side. Owen Dean dribbling forward through the middle though.
He was always going to try and find the net himself there, Owen Dean.
Flatman has every right to be tearing his hair out. He had a hat-trick in his sights there, but Owen Dean had other ideas.
That's nice.
Yeah,
they played some
Farnham.
nice football. Sutton Academy in the second half. I'm calling it Sutton Academy. Sutton United, of which 99% are the academy boys.
Lambourne cuts back in and looked like he'd done the hard work.
Yeah, he had one of those where he's beating the man, he's tried to beat him twice, just didn't need to.
But a corner, and they've not had too many of these to...
I think it might be their first.
Yeah,
No, they had one the first half, just before the Pat Nash save. That'd be nice to have a notable moment for the highlights, regardless.
yeah. Hopefully they rattle the post or something. Lambourne in space. And there's another corner. Ryan Canane furious.
Yeah, standards. This is where Farnham standards have to be high. Clean sheet's important for lots of these boys.
And some wrestling going on in the box.
Does the referee need to do this? Oh, there's a proper fight breaking out.
It's not been that sort of game, so
No.
bizarre that that sort of thing would happen now.
I'm not really sure who's involved. It's the most boring fight in history. No one's doing anything.
A lot of handbags. Eccleston getting a talking to. Ogundenga is interested as well.
Get this over with, I think.
Yeah. Got people in Bulgaria that have got work in about 8 hours, let alone those watching in Sweden. Lambourne. And Farnham nick it back, and if they can find Flatman, might have been an opportunity there. Owen Dean going in, Edwards too strong for him. Lambourne, Edwards again, brought down by Kalu. There's a few fouls he's given away against Edwards, who's given him a tough time tonight, but Farnham have remained resolute.
Joe says Farnham have players playing 2 leagues below what they should be playing. It's amazing what money can do at this sort of standard. Guy Hollis left Farnham to go play conference South Footy on less money. Fair enough. You obviously know a lot more than me, Joe. And I hope you're having a lovely evening, if that's what you're spending your time thinking about, not enjoying football in front of you in this lovely April evening, where it's pissing it down here at Sutton.
Player goes down in the box. Half-hearted appeals. We are into stoppage time.
Someone from Western
and
Australia.
Flatman has nicked it, and Shamal Edwards has been released on the left flank. Can they round off what's been a brilliant night? Still got it, Edwards. Still, Flatman was in the middle. It's still going to come now for Tanner, who'd love
Surely
to rifle one in.
That was written in the stars for Tanner.
Farnham fans having a lovely time.
Yeah, I've had a lovely time, but I'm thinking about how far I've got to walk in this weather from the gantry to the bar. And I'm planning my route currently.
We'll see how long the referee wants to prolong this for. Canane with more defending to do.
Yeah, get this over with for everybody's sake.
Farnham
Thank you
have
very
made
much.
light work of it.
Yeah, thank you very much for joining us, all 300 of you. Do drop a subscribe if you are local to Farnham. Make sure you get down to the Memorial Ground at 3 o'clock or before. We'll be lifting the trophy after our game against Colliers Wood and can hopefully continue an unbeaten season so far. 34 games we have done that. And then the presentation day will be the 4th of May on the Saturday for all the player awards and things like that. We'll have a really good evening at the clubhouse, and hopefully that Wednesday we will be celebrating a Farnham Cup League double with a Surrey Cup final at Meadowbank, which Farnham are surely going to be at now.
Yep, it's never been in doubt tonight. From the moment Jack Dean found the net, after 10 minutes, they've never looked back. One smart save from Pat Nash in the first half. It's the only real moment where Sutton have looked likely. Karoma gets it away. Possums hasn't had much involvement since entering the pitch.
No. But Farnham haven't really had much of the ball up that end of the pitch.
Some nice play from Sutton. Here's Lambourne to flick.
It's a chance though for Farnham.
Dean looking for Edwards. The wind might help him if he can get on the end of it.
Yeah, it's got on the
He
end
does,
of
and Flatman's shouting for it. Lewis Flatman.
it. For the flat trick.
Is this his moment, Lewis Flatman? Oh. He cut inside onto his left, and it might have been on target, that effort. They
More
will get a
importantly, it's
corner.
another highlight for the highlight reel. He did really well though, Lewis Flatman. Bought himself that yard. It was a really clever pass from Shams, missing out Charlie Postens by Flatman a bit more time and space on that edge of the box, but Farnham will just be happy now to get this game over with and move into the final. May the 1st at Meadowbank.
Postens keeping it in the corner. Didn't work out too well though.
Not sure how they've come away with the ball there, Sutton.
Down the line it goes. Edwards will chase, but this is going to be a clean sheet for Farnham. A very professional display in the second half. Hasn't been the fireworks of the first, as we've said, but doesn't need to be. Absolutely satisfactory evening. Farnham's first Surrey County Cup appearance, final appearance. 2 weeks from now. The final whistle goes, and Farnham Town have made very light work of this. Goals from Jack Dean and a double from Lewis Flatman, a spectacular double. See Farnham Town reach the Surrey County Cup final for the first time. Full time here, Sutton 0, Farnham 3.
Yeah, thank you very much for joining us, everybody. Really do appreciate it on a Thursday evening. It's not a normal football night, but do get down to the Memorial Ground for Saturday, the trophy lift against Colliers Wood. It will be after the game. Stay around after the game to watch Farnham Town get presented the league trophy, and then this final will be played at Meadowbank, the home of Dorking Wanderers, 7:45 Wednesday, May the 1st. We'll see you there as well. Thank you very much for joining in, and we will see you on Saturday.
Bye.